Ba-bum, dum, bum, bum. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da. I really don't know how much excitement there's going to be. I want to keep going with this until either something happens and we lose, or I get really sick of playing it, or we get to the modern age. There's gonna be some of this Sinhalese, Sinhalese. Shit, I'm late. It's late in the day for me, which means it's like super late for Queen Alina. So I can't be like, how do I pronounce your ethnicity? This Sri Lanka game. It's taking a really long time to load today. I'm not quite sure what's up. Yeah. Oh no, we can't gain achievements in our modded extended timeline playthrough. Whatever will I do? It's not as though I don't have a module I could use to boot up Steam and just click all the achievements that I want and just, like, have them. Like, achievements are so silly. Just have fun. But yeah. Previously, we unified Sri Lanka and we established a series of trading kingdoms on the shore of South India, which Satavahana proceeded to kick our ass in a war and take. And now we have looming potential troubles. We did manage to take advantage of some opportunities to hop over here and vassalize the Maldives, which means that we have their little fleet, but unfortunately we had to destroy their fleet in the war, so I don't know if they're going to rebuild it. We've also managed to secure alliances with the Western satraps and Chola. But Chola is not doing great either as far as fighting Satavahana. And the Western satraps have a bit of a problem in the north. These boys. They've got a lot of potential. Yeah. There's some chunks up there in the north. Now we look at Satavahana, we can see, you know, alliance-wise, they're not too scary. They've got their alliance with the Sind, and they've got some independence that's supported over here by some of the client kingdoms of Parthia, which interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. But if it does fire and Satavahana gets tied up fighting against Parthia, that could be an opportunity to end the Ages of Peace and reclaim India south of Chola to start rebuilding the little trading kingdoms. I don't really want to own anything on the shore directly. I like the idea of having a bunch of trading kingdoms. It says we can enact our next reform, but we need ancient imperialism, and ancient imperialism is not founded for another 22 years. At which point it will probably come up in Rome. Possibly over. No, you're a kingdom. Nomadic Confederation. Kingdom. Kingdom. I do not like that the Qin are no longer an empire. That means that it's really going to be Parthia or Rome that gets ancient imperialism. I don't think the satraps have increased enough to be an empire yet. So that's just going to be another thing we have to dev up, I guess. What have we got as far as late classical age? Yeah, we have low autonomy. I thought we were close to unifying our culture, and then I zoomed out a little bit. Because I'm like, oh, we've got this, and then we've got that. No. We're the entire freaking we're Westernarians. Which means that we're the same culture group as the Marathi and the Gujaratis and the Rajasthanis up here. Which is a little ally, actually. Like, most of this is Western satraps. Like, oh my gosh. We're not unifying our culture group for a long time. Oh. I am just hit by the absurdity of what we have going on here. Because, like, mission tree. What's our mission tree? Our mission tree is generic. We need to build buildings that we won't have access to for ages. We need subjects, which we're not going to get access to for ages. We need to control the spice trade. We need to control the Silk Road. We need to have at least 6 states. We have 2 right now. We need a massive fleet. We need a huge army. We need to unify the Coromandel, which is dismantling Satavahana. We need a bunch of trade regions. Like, we just need all that. The Maldives have the same missions, so, like, we're not going to get any. Our missions are conquer the Coromandel, which is fine. Except it's all held by Satavahana. So it is. I think it is just relax and fucking continue. I would love your pennies. Oh my god. Maldives is just a prestige pet. They don't give us anything. We have some pretty decent income. Tech-wise... Oh, we're not gonna tech up anytime soon. This is... Yeah, we're gonna top out and be upgrading a little bit. So where do I want to not upgrade? Because we're gonna need to set aside a province that's relatively cheap to upgrade for... Oh, I forgot I named everything after people. So I'll take the innovation. And it looks like it's Cassian, or Sahil who is our spot 2. Okay. Kath is like our best for that. So we're going to want to probably not develop in Kath until it's time to do the big push towards ancient imperialism. So we'll do our little bits of, oh, we're maxed out on points dev in Cassian and Sahil here. And then do I have any? No, I don't. So, and then we'll drive up the dev in Kath. And there's, oh, schools for the public. Oh, that's gonna go away. Okay, Cassian and Sahil are probably gonna actually be the places we want to dev. Because schools for the public is not gonna hang around long enough. Jane Moneylanders, forgive your debts, because we don't like the Janes. Yeah, get out of here. So it's a question of, so we'll probably then flip that around. When we cap out, we'll dev up Kath. And then the question is, Sahil Spices, or Cast Gems. I like gems. I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea of a highly developed gem province. And it does make sense, because this is like the controlling of the strait right across from Blobber. Blobber, Vummer, Sunaj, we will liberate you. Somehow. I can't name you, can I? No, I can't rename places that aren't mine, so I cannot rename the Maldives. Would love the prestige, thank you. I love just balancing out at a sensibly positive prestige. It's so nice. Who are my rivals? I forgot. Kalinga and Mon. Yeah, defense is important. I think it's very important also that we keep our spy network up on Satavahana as much as possible and keep as many claims. I don't want to start a war there until I've got things where they look not great. You are special interest. Okay, I'm gonna actually make sure my notifications. I want to see what I have here. When you inherit another, if you do, I don't think you can, but those. I need to know whenever they join, whenever they annex someone, if they become a vassal. I basically want to know everything that they might do diplomatically. Because Satavahana is such a big deal. When your rivalries change, I want to know. Break alliances, I want to know. For some reason you become a tribute, I want to know. None of that I care about. None of that I care about. You declare war. And you accept peace. You break your alliances. Okay, I want to know all that. Okay. So that's a lot of information, but I really do want to know what's going on there. I want to carry out messages from. These really do like taking decisions. Okay. Yeah, okay, what is taking decision? I don't want that message. There we go. Got the orange crush. I just fluided. I just got the orange crush. I just had to finish fixing message settings because I don't want to get ambushed by an alliance from Satavahana to some enemy when I'm prepping for a war at some point. And I want to know whenever there's an opportunity. where Satavahana could end up getting, you know, a little bit fucked up. Like, that's an opportunity. Satavahana is supporting the independence of client states of Parthia. That's an opportunity. That's a conflict that could get going poorly for Satavahana and give me a chance to liberate Vummer. We can't have 4 Vummer stuck down there. These are supposed to be independent and thriving trade cities. It's our cap. Oh no! Vijaya the Second is now ruling. Yay! Can spend some of that. About to cap out admin points. What's our new king like? He's garbage, Your Honor. I mean, he's benevolent. Yay! The Maldives will be less likely to want to revolt. But the Maldives already love us. Don't you worry about it. I'm staring down a really good job interview next week. The only annoying thing is I don't have a way to turn off the ads. They fixed the loophole I was using to bug out the ad system and not make anyone watch ads. And hey, you're already inside me. I'm so sorry. Growing up in Rex, Swarna Manikya enjoyed spending time with others. She was an unusually calm child. Okay, more of those. I need to spend those. Okay. About to cap out. Okay, and now I really do need to... I need to spend more, and we can't spend more here until we start capping out something else. So now I really do need to decide. Because either Cass or Sahil is getting saved for when it's time to dev up for Ancient Imperialism. Which is probably going to put them up at 31 dev. So I think I'm going to save Cass to dev up for Ancient Imperialism. Greed it for those lovely gems, which means we get the development there. No, we got caught. Western satraps have declared war on Kosabi. Yay! Kosambi. I mean, I'm okay with my ally getting stronger. I know, I'm neglecting the province I named for you. But in 200, Ancient Imperialism will start. And I'm going to want to get that. And that is going to probably spawn in Rome. So I'm going to have to be prepared to turbo dev. And this is one of our cheap to develop provinces at only 215 to dev up. No, this is the extended timeline mod. We started in the year 5080. And the end date is only capped by the integer, so theoretically it runs till 9999. No, the Commandants. But there's like nothing new that happens after like 2020. Oh no, we're gonna have an ad in 5 minutes. Fort defense is important. So, yeah. We're in what I call the 1,000 years of peace. It's going to be longer than 1,000 years, and we're not at peace. We already had several major wars last time. We almost managed to beat Satavahana. Give me the corruption and the money. It's fine. I don't really have anything to spend. It is September. You're unemployed. Don't be spending money on me when you're unemployed and I am potentially going to be getting a multiple 6 figures job soon. I have it set to the minimum ad, so it's just like one advertisement every hour. It's like 1 30-second ad. It'll be fine. Okay, what are you doing, Narenda? Why are you... You know what? I'll take 2 corruption for 2 base production. Although that might be shifting my plans. It's 30 seconds, and then it'll be an hour until the next one. And then... yeah. Okay, I have an ability. Ooh. Discipline. Okay. This is... Now, we're not in as good a position as we were during the defensive war to stop the annexation of Blobber, because we don't have Blobber's amazing fort. We don't have the subsequent people. But we did almost beat a 50k Satavahana army with half their number. So this increase in discipline is very appealing to me. I could get the trade range, which could potentially unlock another trade zone. It's between the land leader shock and the discipline, and I think the discipline's more reliable. Good job, Kosembi. I will miss you for like the 30 seconds in a minute. And then I will be back and be glad to yap at you. Yeah, I have it set to do a 30-minute delay from start of stream until ad breaks, and then a 30-second ad every hour. That's the minimum ads that they let me force upon you. And I have an option to snooze ads for 5 minutes, but then it does like multiple ads. Well, you'll find out in 5, 4, 3, 2, ad. Apparently the ad was running at the time. Queen Regency. Oh no, our garbage king has died, leaving his much more talented and skilled wife, Swarna Manikya, to rule. Pirates have struck the shipping. Hunt them down. And I want to root out more corruption. We have plenty of money in the bank for now. Oh, there's the ad break. So let's just... there. Oh, my spices. Sneaky little ad break coming up as soon as we... it best not be BetterHelp. How you doing, Chin? How's your... China's having a time. China is having a time. Okay, so let's just take a quick peek at... I think I'm full on my military, but I want to validate that. Oh, I'm not. I have an extra soldier slot. Oh, I never built you. And then Vatika should probably be in the 3rd Fleet, improving our projection and getting us more money. You are protecting trade, right? Yes. Satavahana is fighting the Sarna. Well, that's not going to go well for the Sarna. Yeah, that's not going to go well. This is probably not going to be the opportunity. I'll get the mercantilism. And I should take a check. So Chola, what do you actually want? You want everything. Okay. Playing too many video games. No such thing. Oh my gosh, I'm remembering. I remember one time when my ex-wife started yelling at me for playing too many video games after I'd been like on the computer all day revising her master's thesis code because it wasn't working. And then she's like complaining that I was on the computer all day. It's like, not everything on the computer is frickin' video games. I mean, sometimes it's watching other people play video games. Sometimes it's texting. Sometimes it's reading books. Like, there's lots of things to do on the internet. Like, right now, we can go and work 820 men to death to get a few more tax dollars. Let's go. Oh yeah, that is a thing. That's a thing that used to happen to me, and then I got into the habit of having lots and lots of alarms on my phone. Lawa has... Okay, I actually don't care about Mon, even though they're technically important. Oh no, Cinnamon too. We're not having a good time economically. These wars overseas are making people not want spices. Oh god, you don't have to tell me that. I can work for 8 hours and then I can hop and I can work for 8 to 10 hours unless it's like all meetings. But I can only really job hunt for about 2 hours a day before I am like considering chucking myself in the Chesapeake. And the worst thing is like most of those don't like you spend all day filling out applications to get ChatGPT generated rejection notices. Hey, I'm capped out on Diplo power. I don't have anywhere I can just spend Diplo on its own. Rex. I can just up Diplo and Rex, and I can up. Here, we'll spend some in Alina. Spend some in Rex. But like, yeah, you'll do all that, and then the job I actually have came from a recruiter, right? And most recruiters are scams, which is so annoying. But the recruiters who aren't scams will be like the actual thing. And it's like, how do you get jobs? Like, the best way to get job is networking, but that's requires you to have people to network with, and a lot of that's like random. Like, my career change into software and data engineering came out of left field when I was, working kind of actuarial and underwriting for insurance companies, and was having a terrible time because like Obamacare had just passed, and for all of the good it does, it did cause a lot of reshuffling in the insurance and like mergers in insurance, which meant that like the company I had been working for got bought by another company, and I had to make a choice between going with the new company that bought us to a job that might disappear in a year in Des Moines, or staying in Omaha where my divorce was actively going on. And like, I couldn't move. I had to finish the divorce. And when I, left that job and was looking for new ones, I got a message from my friend Rachel, and she's like, you know how to write software. I know you can code. I've seen your code. And I'm like, I wouldn't know I know how to write software, but yeah, I can write code. She's like, great. We're going to lie and tell our boss that you know how to write software, and then you'll get a job. And that job was actually one of the best jobs I had. The pay was absolute garbage. The boss was a manipulative, exploitative, like, Russian guy who, instead of giving us raises, bought extra houses for his family and then showed them off to us like he thought we would be proud of him. But that job, I really got the crash course in designing and testing software. I got to completely lead the development of a project for a integrated customer service management system. So it's like, here's their sales apps, here's their products, here's their customer lists, here's their salespeople, here's their sales campaigns, and it was integrated into the call bank. So like, the salesperson working could just click on the next customer in queue and it would automatically dial them. And like, they had integrated emails, so they could like set up things and say, hi, send my sample birthday email that I've written with the name swapped out to all of my customers, etc. Yeah, that might be, I mean, that might be worth it. But yeah, I got that, right? And then that job I ended up quitting because I got sick of the labor shit, and I literally threw my keys in his face and was like, fuck you, I'm not working another month of 10-hour days, 7 days a week so that you can go on vacation. And then my next job I actually got because my half-sister's other parent's sister was the HR department for the company, and is like, hey, you come work for us. And it was the company that had the mandatory drinking, which really did not do well with my alcoholism and such. And I also ended up leaving that job in a kind of bad position. But I had left that job having gotten a name for myself as knowing what I was doing in the Silicon Prairie kind of JavaScript community as someone good with data. And so I got reached out to from someone at that community to be like, hey, we've got a startup and we need someone to join our data management team, which was like hybrid data engineering and database administration. And that was also a really good job. And I worked there until the company that bought them. And then the company that bought them, because we didn't write data engineering on our department, didn't understand that what we were doing was data engineering. And we didn't know what we were doing was data engineering because that was a title in like New York and San Francisco and not in the center of the country yet. So, like, yeah. So they ended up shifting us off to integration and cutting all of our pay. And everyone who was not either me going through all of the trans BS. So data engineering is... So you know how you get really big data feeds, right? For big companies. You know, millions or billions of data points a day coming in and out of your database. And all of that requires infrastructure. That requires infrastructure to take the incoming data, to sort it and shuffle it, and decide what needs to go into a structured database, what needs to go into a blob database, and all of that. And also how to report it to the non-technical people, which actually puts me in a very awkward position because data engineering is one of the areas where machine learning is really, really useful. And all of the people who are like not tech, but think they're tech because they manage tech, those sorts of folk who are in the data engineering sphere are looking at the, AI slop nowadays and going, yay, that makes your job better. Everyone learn Snowflake. And I'm like, no. Oh God, no. No, 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 no. We don't want generic AI. No. No. The bulk of what we're doing is still large-scale data load management and like dealing with just the load of it, but also and optimizing and efficiency. And, machine learning is a tool that is useful, especially if you understand how it works. Like if you understand how to build a drunken walk algorithm, right? Or how neural networks function. Like you can take those in non-AI, non-learning circumstances and tweak those into algorithms to help shift data around based on like human defined characteristics rather than trained stuff. But I don't know, it's slightly annoying. I'll probably be having to do a lot of that at the new job if I get it, because that's just the way where the industry is right now. Like when we were getting started, we all were talking about NoSQL because NoSQL is basically that, yes. Basically, that is a big part of it. The thing about machine learning is this is very funny when we were just playing Omega Deltascape. Omega Deltascape yesterday. Oh no, data engineers will just kind of, we know what we're doing. We'll just smile and say, yeah, we're integrated AI, and like not, but like, oh my gosh. So yesterday when we were playing doing Deltascape in Omega for FF14, I chuckled because there's this point where Midgard Stormer explains that Omega cannot tell the difference between fact and fiction. And I'm like, yes, that's the problem with machine learning. Machine learning cannot tell the difference between valid and invalid data. It cannot tell the difference between truth and falsehood. It can only tell whether or not what it's getting is consistent with the model that it's measuring against. And then it can tweak the model and it can learn, quote unquote. But it never really knows. And properly integrated, properly understood machine learning recognizes that the machine is dumb and kind of babysits it, uses it to train a black box. Yeah. So like a really great example of good machine learning is the bread/cancer machine. The Japanese bakery that was making the thing to scan bread so that they didn't have to memorize a million pieces of bread or label everything. And how that can also kind of recognize cancer cells. That whole algorithm, and this is a great example of where machine learning is really good, the sort of pattern recognition side of it. When they're training that down, they're going, picture of bread, and the machine is guessing which bread it is, and you're going, no, it's this bread. And through that, the machine can start to adjust the various points that it can scan and go, this bread, that bread. And it can learn. And while it's learning, it's an extremely efficient and expensive process because it's having to reprocess a lot of different data points. But once it's taught, it's basically here's an array of numbers. We compare that array of numbers versus this matrix of numbers, and out comes another array of numbers at the end, and that is meaningful for what it is. That's neural networks, basically, is how that works. The neural network can be nested and be multiple matrices. But it's very efficient and low cost once it's finished. The big problem with like generative AI and such is, number one, that it can't recognize truth or fiction, means it can't tell when it's lying to you. And that's a very, very big deal. And two, it can never be done learning. Like, if you're training a pattern recognition machine, there's going to be a point where it starts returning things within your acceptable margin of error. And you don't have to train it anymore. And you can say, okay, this is done. This is good. One of my IRL feeds works with LLMs and like gets like all, wow, amazing. And I'm just like, no. I mean, yes, they're cool from an algorithmic perspective, but oh my God, I hate them. Yeah, like, and a big problem I have with them. The biggest problem is the biggest problem I have with AI now is it takes generative image algorithms, it takes LLMs, it takes chatbots, it takes pattern recognition engines of various different forms, congeals all of them into one thing, and then markets it as though it's the sci-fi thing that has never existed and could potentially never exist. And it's like, no, please stop. No. That's the biggest thing I dislike about it, is just the way it squeezes a bunch of useful technologies into one. The second thing I hate about it is that it is not cost effective for anything. Like, I have yet to see a solution proposed to use kind of genericized AI where it's the right solution. And sometimes it's an explicitly bad solution. Like, I've had companies talk to me and like, hi, will you LLM us with this data to use ChatGPT for this? And I'm like, oh my God, that's exposing private healthcare data to ChatGPT. I'm like, no, it's all internal. I'm like, no. You think it's internal, but like 3 layers down, you're going to get into the point where it's feeding into this third-party database, and you're not going to be able to clean your data enough for it not to be a HIPAA violation. I'm not going to do it. You are giving me a HIPAA violation there. It's my ass on their line if I write that. Yeah, but because the people making the business decisions don't really understand the technology, they just see, ooh, magic sci-fi. And it's just... And that's before you start getting into the human cost, because the actual does this work or no has to be someone clicking, and there's only so far CAPTCHAs can do. So you have to have, hordes of people paid like millions, not millions, but like there's hordes of people paid pennies on the dollar in Africa and India to sort through those measurements. And it's just like, no. And then that's all of the rare earth materials you need to run the machines and all of the power expenses. Just no. No, it's not as bad as NFTs because you know, the underlying technology is actually useful, but it is still like an NFT-ish scam right now. Yeah, I didn't make the argument as well as it should be, but horses for the bargers. Who's the bargers and why do I care? Horse shortages, or the Marathas are pissed off. I don't care about the Marathas. They have no influence in my country. Suva accepted peace. Oh god, Satavahana is growing so big. That's not good. Miltech. Yay. We can... Let's get some Miltech here. But yeah, that's data engineering, and and it's, you know, I like it. It's full of tough stuff, but I do love it. Let's get that corruption down. Vaji. Oh, Satavahana's leaning war potentially with Vaji. I don't think Vaji can do it. See, if I could arrange, like, a proper alliance between Vaji, those satraps, and the south, where if anyone got attacked, everyone would get pulled in, that would be great, but I don't think I can, and that would just get me pulled into wars that will get me in trouble. Yeah, I couldn't turn and put Vaji and the Western satraps in a ring together and be like, you two make friends. It just doesn't work that way. Let's get strawberries and cream. Dr. Pepper. These are so yummy. China is not having a good time. Wuhan has become the emperor, and they're still just a kingdom. Satavahana has legalism. That's not great. Oh. Why am I playing in South India on this spot again? It's just like last time where I'm cowering from Satavahana. The only difference is I'm on the island, and theoretically... But I mean, we're already almost twice our force limit on boats. Let's make it exactly twice our force limit on boats. Actually, we don't need these transports anymore. So we'll just get more galleys. Because we're still centuries away from light ships being anything in combat, so a horde of galleys is good. And then I don't need the transports because we can walk across the strait between Cass and Blobber. We're still pretty firmly in dev-up land. We'll spend the manpower. I find it very hard to believe that we're going to actually have trouble, but I should confirm that. Navies. Satavahana is too big to be a rival anymore. Check them manually. Satavahana has 8 light ships, 4 galleys, and 2 transports. I have 6 light ships and 6 galleys. Okay. So yeah, we can just kind of camp. If Satavahana starts a war, we can just kind of camp in the Gulf of Mannar and not worry about it. No, our queen died, and we now have a Regency Council headed by Mashadeva Kotid. We'll marry Parakra blah 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 to some lady from Chola, sure. I am going to keep claiming places, actually. Also, Blobber should be ours and should be independent. Or if not independent, we need to give it to Chola. Because I don't actually want to have land on the mainland. The point of the 1,000 Years of Peace is to wait until we have enough admin tech to unlock the ideas that let us come over here and start colonizing and screwing with Indonesia. And then we'll have enough to come back and unify the subcontinent. How dare Satavahana? How dare you claim Cassidy? That's my Cassidy. It is a really long time. It is a very long time. I don't know why I am, like, continuing the game past, we unified. And that's assuming Satavahana doesn't, like, start collapsing for some reason. If we get a chance to strike at Satavahana and eat the bottom, we will. But just the tip. We only want the tip. Why do you keep hydrating me right after I drink? Too many Diplo reps. We had a law. Why do we have a Diplo rep? Yeah. Oh, that's the thing that we just did. Cost us a Diplo rep. That's right. Well, I'm not releasing my vassal, and I'm not getting rid of my allies, so we'll just cope. Give me the mercantilism. Fuck you, Satavahana. You're not my friend. How are we doing in the Coromandel? The only trade zone we can reach. Satavahana has half the trade. Then we have 22% and Chola has 25. So 41% there, 47 between me and my ally. Like, yo, it's saying something when the two of us combined have about the same trade power as that one down here. Like, I do have a couple of trade ports I can increase if I get enough money. Yeah, I have the Entreport built up in Melina. I have an Entreport built up in Rex. Nothing in Cassidy, but that's fine. Cassidy is the fort. Cassidy is our bastion of defense against... Oh god. I'm so sorry to, like, half of my friends for the words that are about to come out of my mouth. Cassidy is our line of defense against the foul Indian hordes. Oh. That's a clip to send to Sahel and yell at me later. I'm so sorry. I mean, you just have to look and say, see? Different culture group. Ignore all of them being also my culture group. That was horrible. This game is like fuel. Fuel to say horrible, horrible things. Like, Rome, have you managed to... Rome, you still have your Christian problem. You need to exterminate your Christians. See? Bad things that make perfect sense in-game, but are just... No, never say that. That's horrible. Wait. Whoa. What? Satavahana changed to Hindu? That's new. Satavahana was Jain a moment ago. What's up? Why did the state change its religion? I mean, I'm not going to be too critical. It's a really good religion. But... Oh. I should have stated inside thoughts. My sons tell me that all the time. There are things that should stay inside thoughts. Yay! Elephant. The important thing, though, is this is where people can walk across, and anything else is going to be like 4 troops at a time that I can squish, so as long as I hold that. The Regency is about to end. That's overall good for us, I guess. No, the General. The new one's not as good. So what are we hoping for? We are hoping for... Honestly, we're hoping for a war between the northern satraps and Satavahana, which is not likely to happen. Yeah, the northern satraps aren't interested. There, are they? They are! Okay. This is something I want to keep an eye on. If the northern satraps go out to war with Panchala and get a border with Satavahana, that could be escalating conflicts between 2 very great powers. Yes, Satavahana is the 3rd largest power in the world. The northern satraps are the 5th. Like, that would be good for us. And our king is also benevolent. Isn't that lovely? Benevolent and apparently not married like I thought he was. There's the heir. Okay. Let's keep getting claims. Valanadu is a good place to have a claim. Sunaj is a good place to have a claim. Vummer is actually not that great of a place to have a claim, but we'll take her anyway, or kick her out into independence again when the opportunity prevents. Inheritance! Oh no, I have to care about my karma. What's my karma? 0. Okay, so my karma is... I can get more prestige. We're up there. More legitimacy, we're fine. Money. We're fine, actually. We're gonna get the good karma and the prestige. Even though that puts us way above that, it just feels nice to have prestige. Probably should have taken legitimacy, but we're ticking up. And the unrest down in South Lanka is non-existent because we didn't take something up the unrest. We have no unrest anywhere. It's so nice. It really is just a time of peace in the Coromandel. Sure. Sure. The answer is LinkedIn. I don't know what the question is, but the answer is LinkedIn. That's the $64,000 question right there. The $64,000 a year question. But no, yeah, that is the tough question. And so the big problem that you're going to have nowadays, that you need to just steel yourself and prepare for, is so in seriousness, a lot of job applications nowadays, especially in IT, are bullshit. They're there to show investors that the company is growing. or that the company intends to grow. And they want to open lots of job applications in the US so investors can go, ooh, we're growing in the US. While really they're like relying on contractors in India because contractors in India are cheap, right? Like my monthly expenses. I have a friend who runs a company in India that's one of those contractor companies. Like he's an old co-worker. He left the company we worked at together to found a contracting company. And like we still keep touch. And like his company, his average high-end freaking developer makes every year what I pay in rent, right? Like, and they're like happy about it. They're like, look how awesome my job is. Yeah. So that's how that works. The second thing, a lot of these jobs are done by the, like, are opened with someone in mind. So there'll be someone already working at the company and they want to shift that person to a different department. So they open a job in that department. Then you can start spamming them with applications, and all the applications get funneled straight into the circular filing bin because they already know who they're hiring. They opened it for someone. Those are a lot of jobs. And then when you're looking at the actual job, a lot of that is getting pre-filtered. So in order to get noticed for that job, your resume has to have certain keywords. And if you don't have the keywords they're looking for, which are often things like specific numbers of years working with specific technologies, then it'll get tossed aside before a human even looks at it. And it's so very frustrating. So the real thing to make sure is, number one, make sure that your resume/CV, all of your jobs list out explicitly what technologies you worked with at them. Clarify like side skills that you may not think are important that came out of there. Like one of my revisions to my current resume that caught the attention of the recruiter is I went back to that first job I had, and where I had to lead this project and didn't know what I was doing, and included leading that project in the job description for that job. And people were like, tell me more. I clarified that the data management position was a hybrid database administration/data engineering position. And they go, oh, tell me more. And there are other recruiters who've reached out to me because they're looking for specific things. When I made clear that I worked with HL7 a lot, I got a couple of people reaching out interested in the HL7. And that's the good thing, because once you've like revised your CV and LinkedIn, and oh god, I hate saying this, but you need to have LinkedIn set up. Once you've revised that and made it like, and made your brand shine. I fucking hate having a brand. I'm not a product. But once you have that set up and have your brand set up, the same sorts of like bots that skim through the incoming resumes to chuck them in the trash are also skimming LinkedIn to look for people who haven't applied that they might want to reach out to. And you'll start getting those recruiters. And again, a lot of those recruiters are kind of scammy. I had one guy who was trying to sell me like stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, React isn't that hard even. Like, especially if you know any other frameworks. If you know like, especially Angular 2. You know Angular 2, you can figure out React. And then you can realize how well Angular and React don't actually play well together. It's less bad in Angular 2 than it was in Angular 1, but Angular and React don't really play well together. But everyone who does front-end development, all the people hiring it, are like, we want someone who can do React and Angular. And I'm like, oh, you can? I'm not convinced you want that. And I'm not convinced most of you want either of those, actually, but sure. God. Front end is not my cup of tea. I can do it, but I really prefer stuff. Yeah. So you just need to kind of like have that all there. And like, I've started lying and saying that I have Snowflake experience professionally, but don't tell the people I'm talking to my Snowflake experience professionally was looking at Snowflake and going, yeah, this isn't a tool that's used for us at its current position. Which technically I did, and technically between the time that I first looked at it and wrote my initial report that I don't think it's actually useful, and the time that all of the people who wanted us to do Snowflake because it was cool AI and didn't have a good reason finally admitted, yeah, there's not a good reason. It was about a year. So technically, I have a year of Snowflake experience. It's probably not the experience they want, but I mean, most places it's not going to be the thing they want to be doing anyway. Let's be very real. One of the big problems we have is that tech is cool. And a lot of this new tech is cool. Like, gosh, even blockchain is kind of cool in how it works, okay? It's utterly useless. It's a waste of money. It should never have left, like, a notebook and a proof of concept code. Because, yeah, but, you know, it is kind of cool. As a, like, thought exercise, etc. But the fact of the matter is that when you're writing software for a company, and a lot of engineers forget this, I think, because they get started working at big corpo things or in startup environments. And I'm very, I think, fortunate that my first, like, 5 years of software development were in a full service company that worked for agricultural technology and only had 5 people. So all of us had to do like tech evaluation. We all had to do project management. We all had to do back end. We all had to do front end. We all had to do quality assurance. We all had to go out to client sites in rural Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, and, you know, debug installation failures or other things. Like, I wasn't involved in this story because this was when I was working on hacking a bunch of label printers so that they would do what the client wanted them to do, because we couldn't reach out to and talk to the label printer company because they'd gone out of business, and they all used proprietary code that no one had any documentation for because, again, they'd gone out of business, and the client company was not willing to buy new industrial scale label printers to slap labels on all of their, like, grain silos. So I was in the weeds of, like, reverse engineering this, and oh god, that same project involved like having to reverse engineer embedded C. I don't know if you've ever done that. Oh, dear viewers in the future or anyone, but oh god, you do reverse it. Doing anything with embedded C that you're not explicitly supposed to and isn't explicitly documented is hell. And even like doing like coding a controller is still not pleasant. But yeah, that's what I was doing, was reverse engineering that sort of stuff. Fucking exactly, actually. Yes, you know what I was doing. Yeah. And my assembly understanding was not good. Yeah, so I was doing that, and the rest of the office was involved in deploying and sending out a kind of point of sale system. So basically, I never took an embedded systems class. I was a math major. I took courses on the geometric structures of differential equations and on topology and on chaos theory and all sorts of fun, useless shit. But yeah, so. But the thing they were doing was setting up a point of sale, right? So what would happen is a farmer would finish growing their grain and they'd bring it to this point of sale spot. And I had just been working with this too, because part of this involved working with some software, some machines that would like check grain quality. And I sort of integrated them into the system. God, I did a lot of like crack the embedded memory and find out how to integrate it with just C#, with a C# software. I did so much of that, but when it came time to deploy it, they had to do a sort of point of sale type thing. So you'd have a guy sitting in the you'd have a guy sitting in the place. The truck driver would come. They'd do a little point of sale, match it up against the accounts, and then pay the farmer, and the farmer would take their grain and leave. Basically. So it's like a reverse point of sale. And we wrote it, and we debugged it, and we tested it, and everything was great. But we forgot something. And that is, the internet in buttfuck nowhere, Nebraska, is much worse than the internet in Omaha. So the POS would keep not connecting to the accounting software on the home base and not be able to serve up the purchase agreements. And it ended up causing a 10-mile backlog of waiting trucks along the interstate. And when you have a 10-mile long backup of trucks on the interstate, the state patrol gets called and is like, what the hell is going on? So everyone but me ended up having to go down to debug that place, and it ended up being exactly that. We only had, it wasn't even like 1,000 kbps down. It was like 200 kbps. It was really bad. It was horrible. But I ended up solving that problem, right? I wasn't there, but I solved the problem. It was like, spin up a local SQL server and just overnight sync up a copy so that every morning when they get in, so every night on their way out, they hit the sync button, and when they get in, it's synced. And then they just have to make it a business rule that they have all of the like purchase agreements in like a week in advance. And they did it. It took them like, they cut it out and did the old way for the day to clear out the backlog. It took them like 2 hours to get everything set up. And they synced it, and the next morning everything worked smoothly. So I solved the problem, but I didn't actually have anything to do with it other than just do this. What do you mean you want me to drive 5 hours out into the middle of nowhere? I'm trying to make this goddamned printer work. Other fun thing there is like, I had to just be printing labels, so I just got silly with it and just like stuck things on labels and like put a label on the toilet that just was like kitchen. You know, things like that. Labeling things wrong. And these aren't like little labels. These are like big, like foot by 2 foot, meant to go on the side of an industrial bin labels. And they all have barcodes and the client insignia. And when we got everything done, the client came to visit. It was just like, why do you have these? And I'm like, remember the printer project? I had to test it, and I decided to have fun. Oh, not the worst thing I did with that client. The worst thing I did with that client was forget that I was browsing Bara on my personal laptop and hooked it up. Like, we went into an office. Oh gosh, ad break. No, the Bara story. Ad break ends. There we go. Goodbye, ad break. Back to Bara's story. So, yeah, so. Oof. So yeah, we had a business presentation to set up, and we had prepared it, everything was ready, and I took and everything was ready, but my work computer started having problems. I'm like, it's fine. We'll just plop it in and load it up on my personal computer. It'll be fine. So I brought my personal laptop in, forgetting that I had been drunkenly scrolling Bara, hardcore Bara, on Pixiv the night before. And I was in a 3-piece suit. I was still in the closet then, so I had like this neatly groomed little beard and hair, very Max professional. We hook up the computer, we turn it on, we have all of the client in this room, and boom, gay muscle men on the wall, and I'm like, close. One of the women working for the client asked for the link to the site later. She's like, ooh, I liked that. This was before the label printer incident, so I was already known as the one who forgets about porn to this client, and the client was like, "No, we love your work." It was not the first presentation I'd had to do with them. It wasn't the last. Like, God, 2014 was such a different time. Like, I swear, if I'd transitioned in 2014, all of them would have gone, "Oh, that's odd," and not cared. But also, all of those people are absolutely people now who are saying, "Kill the trannies. Their perversions destroying our youth." Like, it's so annoying how that brain garbage is. Ugh. But, yeah, it is what it is. There's reasons I left Nebraska. Not everyone can, but oh my god, if you can, get to the coasts. Oh no, we got found out. Our spy network. What are we going to do? I guess we're going to continue waiting for an opportunity to go to war. While grinding out so much production. We have so much production everywhere. Yeah, we'll save the merchant. It's fine. Yeah, we'll take the admin hit. It's fine. That's the date I want to see. That's the date I want to see. Come on. Do you mean to tell me that neither of these empires has a capital province? Oh no! Yeah. Ooh. Oh no. Phones. Very understandable. My phone is charged. It is no longer at... Gosh. By the time I got myself out of bed and hooked up, I was down to 2%. And it just kept pinging me, like, oh, phone battery less than 5%. Charge, phone battery less than 5%. I'm not fully charged, but I'm pretty charged. I'm lying, I am fully charged, I'm 100%. No, our philosopher. My prestige. No, that's a whole nother 1 prestige loss every year. My philosopher, no. I guess it's been like 60 years already this session. This has been a long, peaceful session. Treaties on natural philosophy. Sure, give me more innovation. Probably gonna need to get one more mill tech dev up. Not mill tech, but mill dev. Okay, we can have 2 more troops. Very understandable. That's about what happens to me an hour after my progesterone. And then, like 12 hours after, I am voraciously horny. But you already know that one, troublemaker. Embarrassment, but... Future VOD, don't know this. I plead the fifth. Wait, no. Why did I? Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Oh, you have just enough lag for me to recover breathing, just for you to go breathe. Parthia! Oh no, Parthia, what are you doing? No, not the northern satraps, I need them! Parthia, no! Why are you taking Bamian? What's even in Bamian? Ah, dies. Okay, I can respect that. Well, screw the tribes. We have no one. 100% of the land is mine. Country, ancient imperialism has formed. Okay. Where has ancient imperialism formed? Cresifun. It's Parthia. I'll take a drink in a moment, I'm thinking. I'm trying to decide if I want to wait. And I don't think so, because it's going to spread. Right, the path it's going to do, it's going to hit down here into Masquet, and Masquet isn't friendly. It'll come to the Western Satraps. Oh, actually, it's going to come to the Western Satraps. So if Parthia adapts this, it'll go to the Western Satraps. If the Western Satraps passes it, it'll go to Chola. And if Chola gets it, it'll come to me. It's already spreading to me because I have a glorious monument. So it's already coming. It's coming to Rex even more because Rex has the Entroport. It's coming to the capital especially. I might not be turbo deving cast like I was planning on. Like, we're gonna get one a month. It means in 100 months, it's gonna just be here. In less than 10 years, it's going to be in the capital. So I think we just do normal dev and let it happen. Also, I absolutely put an advancements effort on here. Actually, that's not going to be worth the money. It's only going to save a year. Also, we have so much money. Oh my gosh. Who's our +2 guy here? Production efficiency? Yes. That's the only +2 guy I'll take for now. I mean, they're also spreading, but they're not spreading great. Even in their capital, they're not. So, I think... yeah, we're just gonna let it happen naturally. As weird as it is. Like, look at it. We're already at 17% in the capital. Already. It's so good. I shouldn't fix through that. I care about that. I just want to get relations up with Parthia, see if that spreads faster. What's going on here? Attacker in the Satavahanan conquest of that. Defender against Satavahana. Okay. I like that Vaji is involved. This could become a chance. We're going to keep an eye. If... Well, hey. If this goes well... Specifically if their manpower drops down to 0. That could be a great time to strike. I'm going to start paying for the fort. We can afford to pay for our troops. So we'll go ahead and do that too. That way we are ready to strike at a moment's notice. Now the big question. If we went to war, would everyone join us? Yes. And we would barely not outnumber them. They're still spinning up their war machine, but it is bleeding away their manpower. Jodorkand has done peace. I don't like that. We still have 47,000 troops and 4,000 manpower. This might be the best time. Oh gosh, the best time is that, which is August. Okay. I'll take some corruption, it's fine. It's only money. Because in August we'll hit Miltech 8. Which is also where they are, so it's not actually that big of a deal. It is increased shot, it is drill. It is a significantly better general. EB right before we fire on this war. That's okay, you won't be there to see it go horribly wrong. Yeah, okay, we're firing in August. No, I recruited another general, so it's going to be March. Well, we'll still fire in August. Everyone. Let's go. There we go. That's a war I like to see. I want that to continue. This on its own is not as great, but it should be enough distraction for us to squeeze some concessions out of the South. Which is all that we really want right now, is to get the South out of Satavahana's hands. Good, I like seeing this up in the north, away from us. Stay away from us, please. go have fun brushing your teeth. That's not, that's a thing you do because you have to, not because it's fun. But it's very understandable. I am going to continue cowering away in fear from Satavahana, and I should lower speed. Okay, Blobber is ours. Gonna run over and take the nod. And then start pushing our way north. I don't care about Najapur. Why is it my province? Okay. Enjoy your siege. Okay, Satavahana has peace. They can turn all their attention to us. That is something I'm not fond of. But again, we're only aiming to liberate the south. We'll push as far north as we can, but when I see them starting to turn, I will pull off for peace. Satavahana is starting to send some people south. I say 13. I'm gonna send you to go keep an eye on that coast over there. Can I just tell you to blockade ports in the Arabian Sea? It's 14. That's more than Chola can handle, but it's not more than we can handle. So let them come a little bit further. Grab the nod. Then we'll go north and help. Ideally, they start trying to reclaim Blobber. That I don't like. That's the second army. And that's the Dare army. Okay. That's the we're not doing great. If I can get Vanad, I can probably get Liberation here. That's not a good sign. Okay. Yeah, okay. So that's the end of this. Hi. The war has just turned against us, and I don't think we're going to be able to pull it off now, unless something happens. I expected this war to go a little longer, and it didn't. I mean, this is going very poorly, so If they go north, I might be able to... If they keep pushing north, to mess with the Western satraps, we might be able to do something. Sind, we might be able to get Sind out of here. Sind is willing. Sind is willing to go out. Get out of the war, Sind. That is going to pull us... Okay, that's going to free up the Western satraps to only face Satavahana, which means Satavahana will have to start going north again. Now this I don't like, that they're fighting for Chola, because Chola is my friend in the south. But this is good. So we managed to get Sind out of there. It's very good. Let's get the Free Company going. Let's get you going. Let's get the ruler in command of the Free Company. Let's go liberate Blobber. Not liking how much stronger their troops are than mine. Okay, this is not great. Roll better. Yes! No! And that's not where I want to run away to. I want to run away to my island, not to where they can attack me. That's okay, we did okay. Hunt down the dang pirates. How y'all doing up north? Not great. Oh my god, why is Satavahana's army so goddamn strong? Give me that manpower. Well, shit. This is probably very bad. Yeah. We have no morale. Can we flee back to island? Yes, good. Because they can't get to island, so... This recovery up north is a really good sign. Chola recovering a bit is a pretty good sign. But we weren't able to liberate Blobber is not so great. But we have our wall in the Gulf of Manar. That's not great either. We have our wall. They cannot cross. The Western satraps have started recovering in the north. So that's going to start pulling their eyes. They're kind of, you can tell they're trying to get Chola out of this. But Chola's not there yet. Oh, the satraps. Okay. So the satraps did that. What we want. Oh, this is going to be bad. They're going to eat a bunch of Chola. I was hoping that the Western satraps would push back further, but they got sick of the war. There are just not enough mercs available. Get rid of the mercs, because they're not actually going to be helpful. Under no circumstances will I give them anything on the island. They can't get to the island, so they're not going to get the island. Unless possibly they vassalize Chola, in which case Chola's on the island. But we can deal with that. Okay. So that was not the great opportunity I thought it was. I saw them losing troops and I saw their manpower at 0 and went, okay, we can take this. But no, they just pieced out of that war for less than they could have taken and came south to eat Chola. Hey, ancient imperialism has appeared in Nolina. We embrace ancient imperialism. Yeah, sorry, Chola. Basically, can I just give you a little bit of what's less good about Chola? Gosh, there's nothing I can do to get peace here beyond, like, giving them chunks of the island. Okay. You're not getting here. I don't care what you're up to, Satavahana. You're not getting any of my stuff. Not getting to the island, you're not taking any of my land. In fact, we're going to sneak across to Blobber. Try and get Blobber back. Hey, you've got 8,000 men there. Keeping an eye for us to do this. What are you going to do? Chase us back to our island? Where you can't follow us? Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. My plan is unstoppable. What on earth are they doing up north anyway? Fighting Kosala separatists. I see. They're dealing with rebels. And then the armies are going to come right back down. Well... Hey! Speaking of right back down... we are not winning this fight. You're not escaping this fight. It's getting late and you are tired. You should sleep. I'm going to be sleeping as soon as this war is done. This is going to be a short session. I'm not going to give up anything on the mainland, on the island. And I'm going to keep an eye on potentially no worries. Yeah. I'm going to focus on Miltech and see if I can the cap is higher. You only keep 999 and it's 1600. Inspire the soldiers. Inspiring the soldiers is important. Recruiting generals is important. You might get a crossing penalty. Gajbahu might keep us from getting that. Goodbye, Panchala. It's just us and Satavahana. Okay, we can't quite do this. I was hoping the ruler policy might work a little bit better. my gosh, we might be able to get out of this for just money. Yeah. We're gonna give some income and some ducats and give Satavahana some inflation. That's not too bad. We have a half price +2 up, +2 somewhere. And then as far as alliances are concerned, we still have all of our alliances. Oh, that war did not go as badly as I thought it was. That war went pretty badly for Chola and the Western satraps. But it didn't do too badly for me. Yay! Plan is Avernum tomorrow afternoon, but I have work I need to do before that, so yeah. And then probably not anything Wednesday, Thursday, because I'll be prepping for the big job interview. So Avernum the next couple days. Until we get tired of Avernum or we beat it or something. And then I am ready to go. I have secured through a friend Final Fantasy X. So I can clear that from my book of grudges. But for now, yay. For now, this has been your Grand Gabo, feeding Satavahana and just locking them into their spot at the third great power of the world. Who do we have to rate? Do we have anyone watching? Is it worth rating? Probably not. So I'll just let you all go where you will. Peace.